Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 15 of Adventure Planes. Today guys, we're going to be finishing off Red Rock Snacks, which is our building here, which is going to be our next food outpost down here by Red Rock Falls, and our other flat ride we have down here. But we've got to have another food outpost, so I thought we're going to call it Red Rock Snacks because it's right next to Red Rock Falls. And yes, today we're going to be finishing building this building. Quite a basic building. The roof, I wanted to do something quite interesting, so I did something quite interesting, which you'll see in a minute, which I do. But the thing I did, and then with that is, we just want to make it look unique, so have a different design as what all the other buildings are like. A different roof design, kind of more like a more interesting facade, I guess. We just had the wooden facade again, I guess, and we have the Red Rock signs, which we're going to be using the fairy tale signs, which we haven't used that much, but we're going to be using that signage, and we're going to be doing some toilets in here, and just making sure this whole facilities area down here is quite neat and tidy, and the guests can, because there's not really a facilities area down here, and I think as well we need kind of like a seating area as well, which I'll be adding and tweaking as well. But yes, today we're going to be building this building. I'm just doing the roofing here, and also we'll be building our next track ride, which is going to be a Lunas Autos. If I said that correctly. We're going to be building a car ride, which is going to be, like the old car ride, which we put in. Not the other car ride. The other one. There's two car rides. The one you just get by default in the game. Using that one. Didn't want to use the other one. I thought this one fitted in better with the Western theme. That's what I honestly thought. I could have used the other one, but I thought, no, I just want to use this one. It could have fitted better, but I think this one's going to work well. But yeah, here I'm just doing the building, and we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get building into that in a minute. Just doing this interesting roof design, which I came up with, kind of like a roof, and then at the top it's got like this other roof. I think it's quite interesting anyway. But yeah, we're only like 2 episodes away now from finishing this park, and yeah, it's been such a fun series, honestly it has, and I honestly don't want it to end. It's just been so fun, but we've always got to have new stuff coming in on the channel, and that's what's going to happen, and we're going to be doing some new stuff very soon, and I'm sure you guys are really excited for it. We're going to be having more spotlights coming out, more stuff coming out, a lot more content coming out actually, as the channel grows, but here I'm just doing kind of like the arch, for this kind of arch bit of the roof, just making sure it's all nice and tidy and neat. And I'm just bordering it up. It did have a little, just a little issue with the roofing there, but then I did fix it. But it worked. So we are just doing this nice like kind of box thing here, just making sure it's all nicely boxed in, nicely edged around so it fits in well with the whole design of the building. I used a different rock. You have the rock on the right, and then you have this wooden building. It's kind of like a shed, I guess. You have the rustic roof, which is kind of rotten. The wood's rotted, and then the metal's kind of like rusted. That's the right word. Who knows if it's the right word? But you've got Red Rock Snacks, put the signage in. That's a fairy tale sign. You've got to use the signage and then just twisting it around and putting the other sign on the other way. But I think it came out as a really nice building in the end. And then I kind of did this facade, I guess, with these. I thought I could do these. I was going to do like this sign here, and then I decided, the shop signs you normally have outside. I thought, we could have one of these. I think it's the pirate sign. Yeah, it's a pirate saloon sign, I think. Yeah, salon. Yes, saloon sign. But yeah, I'm using this just to say Red Rock Snacks, but it didn't really fit, so in the end I just put snacks on it. because, you know, it's quite nice. Like, I don't know, it makes me have that western vibe. I don't know why, but it does. Reminds me of saloon. And then I put another sign here saying toilets. But yeah, I think this park is coming out really well. So now, this is the moment of the truth. A lot of pathing goes on now. A lot of pathing. You know, we've got to have a lot of pathing down here. It's really, really hard to get around the whole of the event, of the whole of the Lion Rock face. We've got to get around that. So, you know, just making sure that it gets around it. And this is where I start to do a bit of the foliage and a bit of the terrain work as well. So, you know, people are going to say now, I'm going to say now, I should have added like a boat going along this river here, because it can connect to be like a transport ride. I didn't want to do it because I thought, you know, we can have like people actually walk, use their legs, walk around the park. You know, I think I like it when they can walk around. And I didn't really think I should have a boat ride, because I didn't really think, you know, that it would work. But, you know, we can always add that after this episode or something like that. If I really wanted to, I could add it. But, you know, this park is looking really good. And, you know, if I needed to add a transportation ride, I could always do that, you know, if I wanted to. But now, it's time for some hedgerows. Now, I've been, you know, people have said to me, it's a very, very non-green park. I've seen that and I was like, yeah, it is not. It is really not a nice green park. And we need a bit more greenery and foliage and interesting things. So that's what I needed to do. That's what I decided to do. So that was a bit messed up there, wasn't it? Yeah, right. Okay, there we go. So we just built this kind of area down here, and then just did the foliage around here, and made sure it was all nice, because, you know, the foliage, we didn't do a lot of foliage, and I thought, you know, it needed some foliage. So I did the pathing and the fencing. The fence was kind of non-existent, if I'm really honest. I think the foliage kind of overgrew it, you know, overgrown it, grew it. I don't even know why that means. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Overgrown, no. It was too much overgrown. There we go. No, what is this? Okay, this episode's not going too well so far. But yeah, the fence was kind of submerged and kind of covered by it's ringing me today. By the trees and by the foliage. But then I wanted to say, I want to make this part look more realistic, more natural. So we had this lagoon, because, you know, every river comes from some water source. It has to, because, you know, it doesn't just pop up off the ground and be like, hey, I'm a river, hi. You know, that just doesn't happen. And then it causes floods, and yeah, it just doesn't happen, guys. But, you know, so, you know, you got to have a source. So that's why I went very geological here. And I did actually research rivers, no jokes. And I did actually have a look at some rivers, and I thought, you know, the source of a river has to be, like, take the Nile for example. You've got to have a source of that river. So I decided, you know, we're going to make it like a river, so it kind of sprout, because you can have like normally most rivers have like a spring that comes out the ground, natural spring, underground, and then it grows and grows into a lake, then it grows more like a stream, and then a lake, then a river. I mean, that is how the Thames, you know, kind of, if you're in London, that's how the Thames, educational facts, you learn more with me than you learn at school. We needed foliage up here. I mean, it was looking very bleak, you know, it was very empty up here, there was not a lot of foliage, and it was a really nice outline of the park as well. I thought I really needed this foliage here, because this didn't really work, and people could see, and when you go walking to the park, you could see in quite easily, and we need to make it more like jungly and more tropical and more western theming, you know, kind of more interesting. So I literally just spread loads of foliage all over the park, put the river in, and now I actually blocked the sight lines. There's going to be a bridge there as well where the river goes. I blocked the sight lines, so it kind of extends out, and I blocked them so they actually can't see out of the river. But, you know, this is kind of in the adventure plains, so, you know, they're in a plains, they're in a outback area, you know, it's plains, I don't know, you lot are probably thinking, hang on a second, PJ's put a floating fence. Don't worry, I have not put a floating fence. That will be fixed in a couple of minutes, don't worry. We will fix that floating fence, I know it looks terrible. But then here's the little bridge we'll put in here. Just have to have a nice bridge. The annoying thing is it kind of went off grid now. It went a bit weird now. I don't really, I use off grid when I need to for plazas and stuff, so I normally keep it in parks. I only do it if I'm like, I only change it off grid if I'm like, on grid if I'm doing plazas and stuff, as I said. But if I'm doing off grid, I'm doing like mountains or rivers or something to do with mountains or something to do with a terrain change, I'd say. That's when I change it from off grid. But then, we had the nightmare of changing it from off grid, and then the other path over here is on grid, and it's just like, oh no, what's gonna happen now? So it's really nice when it's finished, but it was a bit of a nightmare. So I kind of made this kind of like, diagonal path, just using the pathing and just made it all nice around the kind of edge. This path, no one moan at me because it's, no one say it's, I think it looks a bit, too open. There's not much of attractions in this path. It's just a long path that the guests have to walk down. Maybe you could split it up with some more shops and something. But I think it's quite a nice view because I'm gonna put seating in it. We're gonna put seating in it when we go back in the final episode and tweak some stuff. Because final episodes, I'm quite different when I do a final episode. I'm gonna go back and tweak some stuff, and as well as the tour, we're gonna go tweak some stuff and check, what's wrong with it and stuff. But here we go. So this is the Lunas Autos ride. Now the layout actually changed. That was not a fun layout. I did not like the layout. I didn't like the whole idea of the layout. It didn't look good when I just thought it looked a bit bad, because it was just, going around itself, instead of, because it's just looks like a highway. And I wanted to be more like countryside kind of thing, so, I kind of just did a different layout. So I changed the layout, again, and then, we're going to have quite a few cars on this, so we're going to call it Red Rock Cars, I thought at the start, and then I do end up changing it to Red Rock. What did I change to? Red Rock. I think I called it Red Rock. I might have just kept it to Red Rock. I don't know what I changed it to. I can't remember now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. I remember now. Well, it was on the screen a minute ago. Sorry, I did kind of cheat there. Red Rock Motors. Yeah, that's what I changed it to. Jeez, I was forgetting what I named my whole ride to. Yes, I named it Red Rock Motors. And now that was a pretty simple ride, pretty basic name. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's in the name. Come on, Red Rock Motors. It was either going to be that or Red Rock Automobiles or something like that. But I like Red Rock Motors the best. But here, I think it just looks a really nice kind of area for the ride. And now because I did the foliage, I was going foliage mad. I was like, oh, we need a lot of foliage. So this episode and next episode, I go crazy with foliage. I'm crazy about it because, we have the desert area, then we have the Red Rock area, and then you have so when you enter the park, you have the desert area to your left, and to the right, you have kind of a more also a desert area. Then when you walk around, when you walk around to your right and past Red Rock Falls and past Sun Springs, you come down into the Red Rock area, which is like the canyon of the valley, with the hill. And then you come into this area, then you walk around, come out the canyon, and you walk into this area, which is the more kind of tropical area of the park, if you like. I guess it's more of the, how do we say, more, it's more tropical and more animal friendly and, less industrialized. This is the true paradise bit of the Adventure Plains Park. It's the more tropical area of the park, compared to all the ugly, the ugly Red Rock, and then you've got the canyon and the desert, everyone's dying, the coyotes are there, they're causing mayhem. This is more the peaceful area, where it's like a town, I guess, like a western town. this is that area of the park, and it's more like, you know, there's more space for stuff to live because there's water and there's stuff like that. And you got Red Rock Falls, that's the natural water source of this place, this town that helps. That hopefully gives you guys a storyline of what the whole idea of the park is. But as I said, I think I said in episode 1, it's more of a, like, you know, there's some like investors have come along and they've bought farmland, and it's kind of like, you know, they've kind of like, and there's used to be like villages and stuff there, and they've kind of like used it and made it as a park. You know, they made it into a park and it looks really nice now. That's the whole idea of the park. You know, it's quite a big storyline, but it's quite understandable actually. So here now, I saw Jeremy the seagull again. Did I call him Jeremy last episode? I might have not. That recording might have not made it right. Anyway, I called him Jeremy the seagull because, you know, it just was so significant. Because I kept seeing like loads and I kept seeing like loads and loads of seagulls in the park, and I was like, yeah, that one's called Jeremy. We're just calling it Jeremy. So if you do come to the park, if you're a PC player, come and see Jeremy. I just got a notification. My OneDrive is full. But anyway, on with the video. Enough about my OneDrive. Don't worry about that. So we then did some basic theming inside here, just made sure it was all nice, neat, and tidy. Because the how do I say this? You know, we had to make sure it was themed because, you know, people are like, they come into this entrance building, they're like, what is this ride? So I have to explain that, you know, I have to kind of explain to the storyline that, because there's no live soundtrack or anything, I have to explain the storyline through this ride, that it's all to do with steam, and like there are steam, like they're like motors, and they make motors for the park. If you like, this is kind of like the industrial side of the park, you know, it's kind of like Industrial Revolution and everything like that. They're making like steam motors and stuff. Maybe they're making staff like vehicles to travel around the park or something. That could be like, this could be, I think this is more like the workshop of the stuff of like, you know, the whole idea of it. But yeah, I've kind of gone with it very metal and very like moving and cogs and steam. You know, I did it with Oilworks, the Enterprise ride, which got so much feedback, which was really good, and everyone really liked it. I mean, everyone was like, we've never seen a Western Enterprise, and I was like, neither have I, but I just created it. So, you know, I have a feeling that might go on a workshop. I might put that on the workshop, the Enterprise, just the Enterprise, just that whole one, as its own ride, because it might get quite a few likes, because people haven't actually seen an Enterprise. I didn't realise it, but they haven't. Not a lot of people have seen Western Enterprises, like Outback Enterprises, because no one really makes, you know, the Enterprises, because it's a sci-fi themed ride. You know, it's got like the sci-fi kind of jets on it. People don't actually use it really, but I did, and I like challenges, so, you know, hopefully next series we can have some more suggestions. You know, this series suggestions now are closed, because we've come to the end of the series, and I know what I'm doing now. We have got the idea of what we're doing, but, you know, next series there's always suggestions available, guys. There's always going to be an idea for you guys to give me when I ask. But yeah, do stay tuned. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot if you do, because, you know, we can create really nice content. And if you're enjoying this series, guys, like the video. It really does mean a lot. And join Discord, because the link is in the description. I haven't said that for long, have I? No, I haven't. I haven't actually promoted the Discord a lot. Well, there you go. I'm only going to say it once now. In this episode, join the Discord. It's in the description. We've got a bunch of other YouTubers in there, console players, loads of people in there, guys. Loads of people from the Planet Coaster community. I've met on the way on this Planet Coaster journey of YouTube. But, you know, come and join me. We can chat, and we can hang out, and we can give you gaming tips on Planet Coaster, console or non-console. I really don't care, whatever you play it on. we're still a community. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, enough about the Discord. Let's continue on the video. So as you can see, I've created like this. I don't know. I like to call it a net. It's kind of like a net area, kind of cautioned off with metal beams. Maybe like it's got explosives behind it. It's like a restricted area. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted this to kind of have like, you know, the metal feeling, like a lot of metallic stuff in it. But as we come to the end of the episode, next episode, guys, we'll be finishing this ride. And after we finish that ride, we'll be adding another flat ride as well. And we'll be adding another shopping kind of area. But there's my first trigger. We're gonna have a door opening there. At the entrance of the ride. I just think it's really important we have this entrance door opening. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and here are some of the cinematics of Red Rock Motors. I'll see you next time for episode 16. Bye for now.